Well, the prediction market Kalshi is suing the state of Minnesota due to its new law banning such markets. The suit says the ban violates the supremacy clause and that federal law gives the CFTC exclusive jurisdiction over, quote, events contracts. Minnesota is the first U.S. state to fully ban prediction markets. Its law is set to take effect August 1st. Its backers say prediction markets are addictive and prey, in particular, on young people. The ban is facing a legal challenge from the Trump administration. We must note this, quote, CNN has a partnership with Kalshi and uses its data to cover major events, but editorial employees are prohibited from using prediction markets. Emma Greenman is the Minnesota lawmaker who introduced the measure, and she joins me now. Emma, thanks so much for taking the time.
Well, thanks for covering this important conversation.
So, as you know, supporters of prediction markets, they say they're federally regulated, they're financial contracts, they're not gambling, and that states are overstepping. What's your response to that argument?
I think states across the country have been really clear. This is gambling, and it is gambling on everything. Since Minnesota's been a territory, we have regulated gambling just like this. And so we are joining the other states who are making it really clear that we are the ones who have to decide how to protect our citizens and how to protect our communities from this shadowy gambling markets.
There's something particular about prediction markets, right? Because unlike, say, I don't know, choosing black or red in roulette, unless you can sort of put your finger on the roulette wheel, here you have people. I mean, there have been allegations of folks who have insider information betting on prediction markets and making a lot of money, including people in government. Is that a particular risk with prediction markets, but also does that create a particular legal argument in your case, the ability to manipulate?
So the issue of both insider trading, self-dealing, and just gaming these gambling markets is a huge problem, and it's a problem of both the gambling markets themselves and also public trust. As we have seen, it feels like every week, right? We saw a special ops guy betting on the Maduro raid, and then the next week we saw candidates, including one in Minnesota, betting on their own races. And then the week after that, we saw campaign staff betting. I think you can see it across industry and across all of these gambling markets. This is a huge problem. And I will leave it to our attorney general and to the lawyers for states around the country to litigate the issue. But I absolutely think that the challenge we have is states are set up to regulate gambling. The CFTC is not. This is not about wheat and corn futures and institutional investors. This is something totally different that needs to be regulated in the same way we regulate any casinos, lotteries, charitable gambling, and the kinds of things that states normally do.
Can you share examples of your constituents who suffered harm from betting on prediction markets?
So I had a teacher send me a photo of a phone that they had confiscated from an eighth grader who happened to be on one of these markets betting. So we keep hearing, especially as it relates to young people, most states that have legalized online sports betting, Minnesota has not, but have said you can't do it until you're at least 21. Here we have 18-year-olds, and apparently it is easy to get on if you are an eighth grader betting. And what we know about gambling addiction is it is one of the most dangerous in terms of suicide addictions. It leads to financial consequences, and the younger you are, the more likely you are to develop really serious problems.
Yeah,
so that I think is the number one thing we're looking at.
Lots of stories about young people, particularly young men, kids really getting involved in prediction markets, sports betting, et cetera. Before we go, I do want to ask you about a separate story. This is an ICE agent just arrested in Texas, charged with assault in connection to the January shooting in Minnesota of two Venezuelan immigrants. It's the second federal agent we should know to be charged over conduct from that Minnesota crackdown. In these arrests, do you see some progress in terms of oversight of ICE operations?
I see in these arrests the first steps to accountability. I don't see oversight. Being a state representative living in Minneapolis, we saw the out of control lawlessness of masked armed federal agents who were not following not only their laws, but the Constitution, state or federal law. And so, Renee Good and Alex Preddy were killed by ICE officers and Customs and Border Patrol officers. We have yet seen that justice. But when we think about the accountability that has to come to prevent future tragedies like this, we need to ensure that government agents follow the law, the Constitution, and that the rule of law applies to everyone. And we did not see that in Minnesota. And I think that these arrests are really important, but they are just the beginning.
State Representative Emma Greenman, we appreciate you joining.